Hello everyone, I know you probably didn't expect this. I've just got in, I've rushed home from work. I was supposed to be doing, well, I don't know, I was covering sickness. It's Nick here, by the way. I was covering sickness at work, at the supermarket where I work. 10 till 7 it was supposed to be, and then it got to 7, and it said, can you stay an extra hour? I said, okay then, and I'm here at 8. Now, as usual, I don't expect anyone to be here. This is like a substitution for the Friday chat that normally would have been. So yes, just to recap then, I didn't have time to do the normal stream this week or the Friday walk, so I rushed in super fast from work here. Supposed to finish at 7, but I ended up finished in at 8. And I thought, well, I can't really do a stream then. I can't really do a stream anything. But anyway, you deserve more than this because it's all about stress busting. So regardless, here I am. I wore this hat to work. Here I am, and I will talk a bit of rubbish and all that sort of stuff. So, Gumdio, you're here. Thanks, Gumdio. So I think even less people will be here than usual because when I've done these before, it's been sort of like 8:30 or 8:45. What's the time now? About 9:30. So I thought I'd rather do something with hardly anyone here than something with no one here. Now I know I should normally have a beer. I will get onto that in a minute, but instead I've got a cup of tea because I've been a bit parched. So I don't know how your week's been. In here in the UK, I'm in the southeast of England. It's been a little bit warm, should we say? So it always amazes me. It always amazes me when I see people in the chat box and something that's unplanned. So big hello to Gumdio, big hello to In the Red Corner, a big hello to Steve Norman. Now, if you're watching these live, well done you. You're one of the rarities. But it's the time where we just have nothing is planned. This one is probably even less planned than normal. I will give a shout out to members. We'll talk a bit of rubbish. I'll do a recap on the channel. Now, although I'm drinking a cup of tea, because I've only just got in, I do have, you knew this, didn't you? I do have a banana beer. You knew I'd have a banana beer. Here I've got a banana beer. I've even got something to open it with there, so that is good. Steve Norman, you've been in Nuremberg. It was 35 degrees. Is that the incline? I'd fall down that hill. It's like that incline when they chase cheeses. I presume it's the temperature. I'm just being facetious. Hello to Text Voyage. Yo, says Text Voyage. Yo to you. And, I don't say cheers with a cup of tea, do we? Just say normal sort of stuff. So, this is in place of the Friday walk. I don't know if you saw the Friday walk last week. Yes, those files are getting pretty big. At the beginning of the year, I got a new camera, which I need to test it out a bit more, called a Canon M50, thanks to your support of the channel, mainly. As I try and upgrade it, and I put it on a gimbal, which made the camera focus a bit better. So normally on the Friday chat walks, where I'd have a 3 gig file that I'd upload quite quickly, and now I had a 26 gig file, and I had a really great load of detail in the vegetation, and it's really bringing the whole world to life. So I need to get more out of that, but as usual, it's a time thing. I am gradually working on it to try and make the channel better and better if I can do. Red Corner, it's cooling down in South Yorkshire now. Yeah, it's just all day. I just looked out the window there. All day I've been thinking, is it going to be a thunderstorm? Is it going to rain? Or is anything like that going to happen? But it's been a little bit on and off. So I'll start first of all as I finish my tea. Excuse me. I'll get onto beer in a minute. No one drinks tea up the pub, do they? Someone comes in and says, "I'll have a pint of tea, please," and everyone looks round and go, "PG tips," and then everyone turns back round again, whatever it is. Right, so you might have seen. Yeah, apologies for no live stream this week. I'll try and do an extra stream this week to try and make up for it. Thanks, Steve. I'll try and make up for it next week. I'll try. Well, the best plans of mice of men, if you know that phrase. I'll try and make up for it next week and try and put in an extra one. Last time that happened, I sort of like did, and I chucked in an extra Atari 2600 stream. It seemed to go down quite well. Hello, Matt. You've been attacked by 10-foot rats. That seems interesting. I need your chat until the emergency services come. Well, I'll see what I can do if I get those rats distracted enough. That sounds pretty tricky. Big hello to Gareth Newt. Enjoy your channel. Enjoy your beer. Thanks, Graham. Cheers when I get round to it. I'll open it at some stage. Now, I don't know how long these chats go on for. It depends. Well, I haven't really unwound from work yet. Some of them go on for half an hour, some of them go on for 2 hours, who knows. Hello to Dave Tong as well. Hi Nick, good to see you. Hello to Tom Higgins as well. Hope you had a good week, Tom. Hello Nick. The chat box is down there if you didn't know. Hello Nick and chat. I knew a guy who liked pints of coffee. Well, I don't know. Yes. So cheers everyone, despite I'm drinking tea. Now, throughout this, I will completely interrupt myself. If you haven't seen the channel before, you might think it's someone in a mental institution just babbling on about nothing. But just imagine you're in the pub. Hello to Simon Toesland. Have you got a new hat, Nick? It's a red hat. I don't wear this one very often because it's a little bit jazzy. But I thought I'd wear it today. I like to change things. In the week, I went into work wearing a white straw hat, which is more traditional. This one's pretty funky, isn't it? That's a pretty funky hat. I bought this quite a while ago, but I don't wear it very often. You need a bit of sun. But I like the red, and I like the blue, and I like the black. I'm a bit of a hat connoisseur. If I ever won the lottery, I probably might buy billions of hats. Well, probably not billions, because some would be exactly the same. But I like this one. This is the only red hat I've got there. So yes, what I was going to say before I interrupted myself again, yes. A recap on the games we looked at in the last week. Members will know what videos are going to go next week when I do the members video for Sunday. Members video last Sunday was a bit above and beyond because we went to Jurassic Park. So well done on the members who managed to watch that. I don't think it's going to be advanced this week, but that's the sort of thing I want to be delivering. It was a bit more exciting. So, right, I'll eventually get to it. Games we looked at this week. Now, you might have seen these, you might have not. If you missed any, it gives you a chance to go back and have a look at them. Yes, right. Dave Tong, yes, I'd love a stinker stream. Who offered that? That's something I want to do as well, a stinker stream. Anyway, the games we looked at was Friday the 13th on last Saturday, based on the movies, of course, starring Freddy Krueger, who's a very naughty boy. This one's based on the first film. Tom Higgins said, are there any hats you would like to have? I wouldn't mind a bowler hat, but I don't think I'd have much chance to wear that. A few fedoras, wouldn't mind a red fedora. I could go on. A Panama hat, a really expensive Panama hat, that would be good. Yes, right. That's a hat. I thought you had elaborate hair. Well, you know. Yes, Friday the 13th. Freddy Krueger is a very naughty boy. It's based on the plot of the first movie. It's very basic, this game. It's what you would expect. There's not much gore about. I don't think parents would have been devastated and not time soft stream, because that's more scary than Friday the 13th. Thanks, Gumbio. Maybe cool. Yeah, what's me in that? You've got to fight Jason by picking up weapons and clobbering him. Essentially, you pick. It's set in a campsite. You're camping with all your friends. Essentially, you need to find a cross, get it to a safe place, and guide all your friends there, or so the instructions say. But a lot of people said to me that really you just need to pick up a weapon and clobber Jason Boyce over the back of the head when you work out which one that he is. That could lead to error in a campsite where you clobber someone in the back of the head with an axe and say, "Oh, sorry, I thought you was Jason Voorhees." It's bound to get you banned from the campsite. So it's quite an interesting game. Apparently, the Commodore 64 game has music, which might lift it a bit. Hello, Matt and Rag. Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th, that's... oh, no, not Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean, don't you? Jason Voorhees. Freddy Krueger is probably in the next tent along. Forgive me, I've had a long day. I've only just got in. Right, 10-gallon hat. Frank Spencer beret would suit you. Well, maybe. Hola, Freddy versus Jason, that could happen. Yeah, I made a mistake. At least I didn't say it was Terry Wogan. No, it's Freddy Krueger. So that was Friday the 13th. The other game, hello to Rocky Bergen. Hello, Rocky. Hello to Obed as well. Hello to Obed there. Thank you, members. This is instead of the Friday chat. I'll repeat myself a lot. The other game was Moonshade. Now, Moonshade, I didn't really particularly like Moonshade, but it's interesting to see. It was like a poor version of Nose of Yesod, if you remember that game. Nose of Yesod, you control a spaceman that did somersaults in different platforms and collecting objects. This, you've got a much bigger spaceman, and it's less developed enemies, and every time the enemy comes into contact with you, it seems to make some amusing fart noise. The maze is a bit ungainly as well. Interesting, but it's a little bit dull. That's in my opinion. You might have different ideas of the games, and that's what the channel's all about. It won't just be one person saying this, that and the other, and everyone say we better agree with that dude. No, some people disagree with me. Nostalgia has a lot of things to do with it. A lot of people do agree. It's getting what your thoughts are back in the day, and I must admit, with a lot of these games, if you didn't have many games back in the day, which many of us are in that situation, unless you had a C90 tape, you would have played the game a lot more, got a lot more out of it, brought together a kid's imagination to enhance the game. I don't want to trample on anyone's memories there, because, you know, a good game could be a bad game overall, but brings good memories, and there's things like that. Escape is one for me, a maze game, not Street Hassle as much, but there's a few dotted around that you would have played a lot. Through the Wall and the Horizons tape, that wasn't a particularly good game, but, you know, it's the first breakout game I played, so I love that thing. So that was Moonshade. Nose of Yesod as well. Not many people know, we have reviewed it. There's another game in that series called Ark. I think Ark of Yesod. I think that's not a bad game either. Right, okay. And the only other ZX Spectrum game we looked at, we look at a homebrew. We look at a homebrew every Wednesday. You might know. This one is very influenced by Dizzy, the Dizzy games. He looks a bit like Dizzy, but he's sufficiently enough different. It's by Rafael Miazga. I think it's 2020, I think. I need to look it up again. Yo-Yo's Great Adventure. Essentially, it could be a Dizzy game. If this had come out back in the day as a Dizzy game, people would not have been disappointed. What's this about Cluedo? Cluedo. I think I might have reviewed Cluedo before on the ZX Spectrum. It's when I was doing board games. Snakes and Ladders, Monopoly, Dominoes was there. Dominoes was hard to make. I think the hardest video to make entertaining is probably Connect 4, I think. Something like that. Right. Tom, you've never played Nose of Yes? It looks good though. It does look good. There's a lot of exploring you can do. You can go down craters and fall infinitely down places. I haven't played it for a while. So maybe I need to do on the next live stream, which hopefully we can do next week. Yo-Yo's Great Adventure, you know, that's where we're persevering with that one. On the Commodore Amiga, looks at a racing game, which I've attempted to look at a few times and been rubbish, only because it's a polygon racer. I moved on to Microprose Formula 1 by Jeff Crammond, which I thought was awesome back in the day. I was trying to control this one on the mouse, but I've since been told you can use the cursor keys. I think the mouse is maybe slightly easier, no, not perfect. It's Indianapolis 500, the simulator. Basically, you can do a whole 500-mile race over 200 laps, different levels of difficulty, but if you pick the hardest car, and click the side, even on lap 499, it's going to be game over. So, you know, it's not the easiest game. It's all about tuning your car to get the best out of it. A lot of people would have loved the thing because it's just an oval, albeit on the classic Brickyard. I like more varied tracks for my races. I think if you've grown up in the States, you might have more love for that sort of game because you've got the nostalgia of ones you've watched throughout the year. I don't think I've ever seen a full Indianapolis 500 race. I've only watched bits of the thing, so, you know, I haven't got too much emotional attachment to the thing, but it's a good game. It moves fast, and I can see why a lot of people liked it. Right, okay. What else? Oh yeah, now let's drink a cup of tea because I get to say a great line in this one. Right, Atari 2600, The Muppet Show. This one is called Pigs in Space, or to name it a bit better, Pigs in Space. Yes, again aboard the USS Swan Trek. Hello to Ian Evans. Hello, Ian. Right. Essentially, it's quite funny, this game. I think it would have gone under a lot of people's radar. Pigs in Space is basically 3 mini games. One's a Space Invaders type game. One you control Miss Piggy in a Frogger type of game. And the last one, well, you just control a ship going down caverns, scrolling vertically up the screen and trying to shoot all the Gonzoids, which we know is Gonzo from the Muppets. It's an interesting game. I would have liked it back in the day as a kid, only because you can jump into any 3 of these games whenever you want. You don't have to do them in any particular order, and it's quite nice. I own well, I really like Top Trumps. I haven't bought any for a while because of finances, but I have got a pack of the Muppets Top Trumps. That actually, just go on another tangent, just for a change. On Facebook, which I'm on, I follow the Top Trumps on there. And there was a pack of cards, a new pack, and it said it was celebrating greatest women in history. And on the front cover, on the top card, there was all famous women there. And bear in mind, these women have to be versus each other on different categories. I don't know what the categories are. There was what seems to be, I don't know, Madonna on the left, and next to her is Rosa Parks. I must have got that wrong. It looked like Rosa Parks. I mean, Rosa Parks, famously, if you don't know who she is, I don't know if it's Louisiana or somewhere in America, she was a black lady on the bus. It was back in a completely different era to now, and the rules were if a white person got on the bus, you had to vacate your seat, but quite rightly she stood up for herself and said she wouldn't vacate her seat, and there was all this kerfuffle. But anyway, what is she doing in the Top Trumps pack with that historic thing, which led to a lot of change? Why is she up against Madonna singing Like a Virgin? How many top 10 hits has Rosa Parks had? How many look? I don't know. Anyway, maybe I got that. Maybe I got that wrong. They still do Top Trumps. Yes, Ian Evans. There's a site called I think it's called. Oh, I can't remember now. It might be called Winning Moves. Winningmoves.com or winningmoves.co.uk. You'll see all the packs there. My favourite is still dinosaurs. Winning Moves. Yeah, they're still doing them. They're still doing them. Good. And the other game, getting back on track. This was only up yesterday. This game. Reviewed it on practically everything else. It's only a matter of time I come to the Commodore 64, which I like to come to every now and again. It was Gauntlet. You know Gauntlet, don't you, from the arcades? I think in the video I said it's from the arcades from 1983, but I think in reality it's 1985. But there you go. Yeah, it's a top-down maze game, which was to influence quite a few, including Alien Breed, which I was quite partial of in back in the day on the Amiga. And that's based on aliens as well, but with a Gauntlet sort of theme. And Into the Eagle's Nest as well, if you're aware of that game. Essentially, you must battle through, collect keys, select any one of 4 mystical characters. It's multiplayer if you want, and find the exits over, I think, about 100 levels, I think. Put your favourite Gauntlet thing in the chat box or the comment section below. If you're watching this on a record after it's gone up, then well done you. I quite often will answer those as well. Right. Steve Norman, if you refuse to get off the bus from work, you might get on Top Trump. Yeah, I could do. It depends. If the only person I can refuse to get off the bus is, I suppose, if a pregnant woman gets on board. But then that's going to look pretty bad on me if I don't get up. Unless it's a guy disguised as a pregnant woman trying to steal a TV set, one of the old TV sets, up his jumper. So it's up really big. Then I'll be okay. I'll be okay then. Right. Probably more deserving than me, Wes, says Matt James. Yeah. I don't know who else is in the pack. There were a few people on there. I can't remember. Famous women of history or strong women for history. I don't know if Joan of Arc was there. Joan of Arc versus, I don't know, Theresa May. Who knows? Or Claudia Winkleman or someone. Ian Evans, I had Cars, Trains and Superheroes. Yeah, the classic packs I think are the best. I've got a couple of classic packs. Rockets was the one going around in school at the day. A few years ago I managed to pick that up off eBay, which I was quite pleased of. Rockets was a good one. Trains was good as well. That was good fare. Now they're I think they're getting quite expensive, the franchise ones. There always is a Star Wars pack that comes out. I expect there'll be an Obi-Wan series pack, the Inquisitor, and all of those. Right, I think it was both, Gareth Newt, CRT and HRT. HRT as well. A HIT TV set, that's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, so those were the games we looked at this time. Friday the 13th, Moonshade, Yo-Yo's Great Adventure, Indianapolis 500, Pigs in Space, and Gauntlet. That's a good set there. Some you would have heard of, some you may not have heard of. But it's always good every Wednesday to come to a homebrew. This time it was Yo-Yo's. I'm never going to run out of those because I think about 10 or so come out every week, and I can only do one, so already I'm behind. I don't always do one that come out in 2022. I dart around if I see stuff I like. Quite often it might be the case that I like a game, I see what else the author's done, and he might have done a few from a few years back, and that's how they crop up. But you've got to respect everything that comes out from Zosnia Entertainment, because they are on fire. Yes, good stuff. So, I've almost drunk this tea now. Obi-Wan is a fantastic show, Tom, which I'll be coming. I'll probably tell. I've got some loose notes, but I haven't got any detailed notes. So if you wanna fill in the blanks at some point when I go through this, because I haven't had time to research any of it. So it's damn full journalism on my part. Literally, I come in, run up the stairs, and I'm on just to say hello. And drop down to the pub there. Right, so that's a games recap. Oh yeah, I did want to speak about Kenobi. Yes, thank you there, Tom. Now, I haven't got Disney, so I haven't seen any of the shows, but I've seen a lot of the clips that have leaked to YouTube, and boy am I absolutely amazed by that show. Now, in particular, if you didn't know, might be spoilers here if you want to turn away. But if you didn't know, Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's set between the films Revenge of the Sith and Star Wars A New Hope, where Obi-Wan Kenobi is on the planet Tatooine looking over the young Luke Skywalker, the Empire at their highest power. Darth Vader, a young Darth Vader, is the apprentice there of Emperor Palpatine, and their mission, along with the Inquisitors, is to go around and hunt down the Jedi, and obviously Obi-Wan Kenobi is a prime candidate there. There's some great fight scenes between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, which have been great, some of the best fight scenes ever. And the finale, now this is spoilers now. The finale, I've given you a chance, 2 chances. They're in a great duel. I don't know what planet it's on. The fight is available on YouTube. It's a young Darth Vader and a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, so not the slowness that was fighting off in A New Hope. They're moving all around the place. They're throwing rocks at each other. Obi-Wan gets buried at some point in the earth. The problem that's always been is the gap between the characters Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, marrying the two together, because Darth Vader is voiced by that Earl Jones fellow, and Anakin Skywalker is like a younger sort of like voice. In this, they mix the two together, especially when during the fight Darth Vader's helmet is damaged and you see Anakin's voice through there, and the voice modulator is slightly disrupted, and it cuts between Darth Vader's voice and Hayden Christensen's voice. Absolutely amazing stuff. I've seen clips of the Mando and Boba Fett, Ian is referring to there in the chat box, but this just blows everything away, and it would have been an absolutely outstanding movie. If it had been a movie, it would have blown all of the, in my opinion, the latest trilogy completely and utterly away. This is where Star Wars is. A young Darth Vader gaining his strength, still not at full strength, versus Obi-Wan, and their fight and the battle there. I thought that was absolutely amazing. Now, if you've watched this, let me know. Right, okay. Matt James, you are aware, Nick, that mostly I try to divert you into talking about dodgy subjects. Well, yeah, I suppose you do a little bit, don't you? Darth Vader against Rosa Parks. Who would win for top speed? I don't know. Possibly. I like to mix up the top trumps cards. Have a train against a Velociraptor, or Miss Piggy against a boa constrictor. It just makes life a lot more interesting. Right, okay, so that was Star Wars. People are always already calling for a season 2 of Obi-Wan, but I don't think it's warranted, because it ended quite well. When Darth Vader met Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Death Star in A New Hope, he said that line, "The circle is now complete. When I left you," or something similar, I was but the learner, or something like this. You're paraphrasing wrong, you know what I mean. I but the learner, but now I am the master. And it sort of like fits quite well with their last duel that we saw right at the end there. So I thought that was pretty good. I think that was pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. So have you been watching those? I don't own Disney. Perhaps the company Disney. I don't own the company Disney, but I haven't got access to their Disney Channel either. One of those is a revelation to you, I'm sure. But yeah, I think I would enjoy it. Eventually I'll drink this tea and have a beer. I don't know what you're drinking. Comment in the comment section below. You might be drinking tea as well. I'm gonna get chucked out this pub in a minute if I don't drink anything a bit stronger than what I am drinking. Tom, I would like a Darth Vader series. Now that would be very, very interesting. There's a lot of room for a Darth Vader series. Heaps and heaps of room, actually. And a lot of people would like that as well. Definitely the most exciting and interesting character there. And that internal struggle, too. I would like a Darth Vader series as well. Maybe they can do that. I mean, the Boba Fett series come out the Mandalorian series, didn't it? So Darth Vader out the Obi-Wan series. They could use him. There's a series of Ahsoka. I don't know if you knew the Clone Wars cartoon. I think Anakin Skywalker's apprentice was Ahsoka, and that's going to turned into a movie as well. I think in the not a movie, a TV series. So Darth Vader could show up in that one. In the Mandalorian, where you saw Luke Skywalker, he was talking to Ahsoka as well. So that could happen. People keep saying they want. It crops up every now and again. Samuel L. Jackson, a reoccurrence of Mace Windu, who survived getting chucked out that window by Palpatine's lightning, fell to the bottom of Coruscant, and he reappearing again. But the problem with that is there's a big plot hole, because they say, where the hell has Mace Windu been all this time during the Empire fight? Unless he's lost his memory, or been frozen in carbonite, or trapped in some sort of time portal or something like that. But Mace Windu back would be rather interesting, but it would say at the same time, you can never actually kill anyone off, because Darth Maul got cut in half and fell down a chute. He survived. Everyone that lives through Palpatine, he can keep coming back whenever he wants. Is that Super Soaker's brother Ahsoka? It is Super Soaker and Ahsoka. A Super Soaker versus a lightsaber, Matt would, I'm not sure. Steve Norman, a Porkins series first though. That'd be good. How would you start off there? Cover me, Porkins. It could be good. A Porkins, and he's just building up the his weight. How did Porkins? That's another thing. How did Porkins fit into that X-wing? I mean, I know when Nigel Mansell tried to go back into Formula One after doing his IndyCars and officially retired, he come back from McLaren and they struggled to fit him into the cockpit and they had to change it. How did Porkins fit into an X-wing? Maybe there's a lot of room there. I don't know. You need a lot of fuel. You need a lot of fuel to power Porkins. But one could say once you're in space, you don't need that much fuel anyway, because weight is irrelevant. So it's like inertia. I've always thought a good name for a film would be, when Mace Windu comes back, called Mace in Your Face. There you go. So basically, he's in your face, and it's Mace. It's there we go. Could happen. If George Lucas, you're watching that, I write Mace in Your Face for you. I don't think there's 19 viewers at the moment. I don't think. That's what it says up there. I don't think George Lucas is watching them. I think he just left. So there you go. So this is just nonsense talk. Don't expect any gameplay, but I will try and catch up next week. If you've got any questions, fire them at me. But I'm going to go over a few things that I've got. Let's just finish this tea. This tea's getting in the way. Ian Evans, what is everyone's favourite Star Wars game? My favourite Star Wars game is that one on the PC. What's that one? I can't even name it now. It was on the PC. You run around. Oh God, I shouldn't have got. I've gone down. I don't go down. Knights of the Old Republic. Was that it? It might have been. I don't know. Right. I did review a Lego Star Wars game called Micro Fighters. I think you can still get that for Android and iOS. That was quite good. There you've got to survive as long as possible. It's like Temple Run, but you're flying a ship instead. Right, I think I'm sort of like slowly recovering from work. I'm in tomorrow as well, 11 to 8. I don't know who did that sort of shift. Now I don't know where you work. Do you work in retail like me, or do you work somewhere else? I don't know. Yes. I don't know if you work in retail like myself. But there is a sort of like element of trust involved, especially when a delivery comes in. You got to mark all the items and get them on the shelves, make sure nothing goes missing and stuff like that. But there's some people that are not quite as conscious as us, and stuff does go missing. Not where I work. Stuff has gone missing. I suppose your DVDs, CDs, and they end up on eBay or boot sales and stuff. And it's called shrink, where stuff goes missing, including shoplifting as well. Now, essentially, I come across a story to do with the firm John Lewis. They had a guy there. I don't know if you come across this story. I've only got a headline, but I'll try and surmise it. There was a guy that was a worker. He was in control of the stock room. And apparently, they started investigating him after a while because odd items were going missing. There was gaps in the accounts that were coming in. And it turns out he'd stolen £45,000 worth of stock. And he only found out that these things were sort of like iPods, electrical equipment, and things like that. And he only got found out when people started contacting him or contacting John Lewis for the serial numbers there, or trying to cash in the warranties. It went through them, and they registered that as missing stock that had been stolen and try and trace it back. A test purchase was done. I think the guy who might have been selling him on eBay, or somewhere. The test purchase was done, went back to him. He was still working for them, and it turns out he'd stolen. I think he sold a few things. They're maybe totaling 53,000, and he had in his house, believe it or not, stuff he'd stolen from work, £45,000 worth of stock. You know, I mean, any normal company should do just the odd search of people. Now, I work at a supermarket. I'm not going to steal an aubergine. No, that. But you know, if you've got electrical stuff, it just makes me wonder how often that sort of stuff goes on. Casual theft, even the point of someone eating a pack of crisps around the back and not paying for them, all that sort of stuff. But have you ever been in? Obviously, don't name names. Have you ever been in a situation where you've worked for someone and they've been taking stuff and you've actually told on them, or you wondered what's going on and stuff? But I thought that was absolutely crazy. I couldn't live personally with the guilt if that actually I was in that sort of situation. But there you go. What can you do? What can you do? It makes you think, really. Anything on eBay, is this safe? Is it from an actual seller? What else have they got? And then it's an offence to knowingly buy a stolen property as well. I don't know what happens if you've bought stolen property and they find out it's stolen. They can repossess it, I presume. I presume that's the case. So that bloke's now in prison. He got a prison sentence. He lost his job. So for a short improvement of his life, where he hadn't sold much of the stock, his life's gone massively backwards, and he's going to find it hard to get a job again. John Lewis, that was. John Lewis. I don't know the guy's name. I obviously don't put it here in case he appeals. But, you know, I suppose it does happen in all sorts of ways. I mean, stock control's got better with computers and there's CCTV and all that sort of stuff. Right, I'm going to finish this cup of tea now. Here we go. That's better. So, you know, banana beer time. Banana beer, bomb, banana beer, banana beer, banana beer, banana beer. There we go. So, you know, get yourself a drink or a wine. There's not too many of us here. If you want to go away and get yourself a beverage, then by all means do so. As I try and pour this. Now, I'm loving this drink more and more and more and more and more and more. I sound like Mrs. Doyle from Father Ted. And more and more and more I drink the stuff. At Morrison's, they're doing this deal. It's 500 millilitres. Normally it's £2 a bottle, but they're doing 4 for the price of 3. So you can get it for £6. There's not many things that are going down in price nowadays, but this is one of them. Don't expect it to taste really strongly of bananas. It's a faint hint of banana bread, and the more you like it, the more subtly you get into it. My dad doesn't like the stuff. I think it's acquired taste. I think it's one of those, a bit like Marmite, either love it or hate it. But I'd rather drink a pint of banana beer than a pint of Marmite. That is for sure. Right, okay. Do you scan every item at the shelf? Well, that's something, Sally Mangoes. I often think of everything. See, this is the thing. I work on the checkout predominantly, and my main fear is at one point everything be self-scanned, and I'll have to do either back or banking and do another job within the store. But checkout suits me. I just talk rubbish. But I do wonder if someone's got an item that hasn't scanned 4 or 5 times. Are they going to call for help? Or are they just going to pocket that avocado or walk out with it? I suppose it depends on how much the thing is. And I think that's why some supermarkets are hesitant of doing it for the amount of stock that goes missing. Otherwise, they'd do it straight away, wouldn't they? Because they wouldn't have to pay anyone at all, and they'd save massive money. If you've ever worked in retail, it's all about saving the money. Cheers, folks. See, I can be a barman. The first time I poured one of these, there's a massive head on it. There you go. So cheers, folks. If you've got a pint, hold it to the screen. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Good. There we go. That's bubbles for you. Oh, that's great. Cool, yeah. I've been looking forward to that all day. It's been nice and warm. Yeah, good stuff. Great stuff. Right, I keep an eye on the comment section as well. I feel a lot better now. Oh yes, banana beering. I think I've only got another 2 left after this. I have to buy some more. I tend to drink low alcohol beer. I don't know what this is. Foster's I tend to drink, which a lot of people don't like. 5.2, well, it's quite high for me. I think Foster's is a bit lower than that. You like it or you hate it. It's seen as an Australian beer, but I don't think they don't think they've ever heard of it over there. I don't think. Oh, good evening to Nikki S. Cheers, Nikki. Cheers. There's Nikki there. I hope you're having a good week there. Yeah, we just I got a few things I can sort of like vaguely talk about as well. Cheers to Gumdio. I will try and involve everyone. So yeah, just to recap what I said at the beginning. If you haven't seen it, sorry there wasn't a Friday. No, well, it wasn't a Friday walk. Sorry there weren't a normal live stream. I always feel guilty when there isn't one. So if possible, this isn't a promise. If possible, I'm gonna try and do 2 streams next week, hopefully. It's all up in the air the whole time. I don't have a set contract. I have my set. Well, they're all over the place, my hours, and they change quite quickly. And Matt James, you're adaptable, Nick. I wouldn't worry about it if you had well. Ideally, the opportunity's never arisen. Ideally, I'd like to be like a radio DJ. We have phone-ins and all that sort of stuff. I'm sure there's equipment you can buy, so you can do it online, I suppose. And it'd be a bit like this, although every now and again I put a record on, or I don't know, gaming music or something. But I'd have some sort of like machine here where people would phone in, we'd have competitions, I'd have guest stars, I'd do interviews, we'd all drink beer. You know, like that Joe Rogan podcast where they smoke weed and drugs. We won't be doing that. We will drink beer and have a good old time. The Nick Jenkins experience or something like that. Right, Nicky, yes, been a bit stressful this week. Oh dear, sorry to hear that. Hopefully you've got Saturday and Sunday off though, Nicky, but well done for making it through. You've done it. Success to you. Thanks for the hat. Yes, it's a red one. It's a red with a black band and a light bit of blue. I do like it. There we go. Chin Chin. 5.2 is reasonably strong, is it? Oh god. DTJB. Foster's not available in Australia anymore. Rather weird for such an icon. Not sure what happened. Yeah, was Foster's actually invented in Australia? Or was that just a myth? I'm not quite sure. And Alan Partridge as my style. Well, you know, it would be a good radio show. I mean, how long do radio shows last? About 2 hours, 4 hours? I could do that. People will phone in and talk about stuff. Betty from line 2, tell us an amusing story about your feet, or tell us the time you got, I don't know, tackled by a large strawberry. It'd be great stuff. Have you had any? Well, I can't answer that, Sally, and I'd rather not. Okay, so yes, the Formula One. Next week, I don't know if you've been following it. Next week is the British Grand Prix. It looks like after an interesting opening to the season, Mercedes have gone backwards. It looked like it'd be an interesting season where Ferrari looked like they were back. Ferrari versus Red Bull, but Ferrari have gone right downhill now. Leclerc did have a 40-odd point lead. He's now about 46 points behind and dropping fast. What was going to be an interesting season, I think Verstappen is just going to walk away with it. But that's by the by. A more interesting story is, you might remember there's a war going on between Ukraine and Russia, and in response to that, it's like an embargo or sanctions. All Russian athletes have been kicked out or banned from certain sports. Now, in Formula 1, there was Nikita Mazepin, who wasn't the best driver in the world. He was only driving because his dad was a Russian oligarch and paid lots of money to the team, I believe. Mazepin was kicked out and replaced by Kevin Magnussen, who's a much better driver. It's making Mick Schumacher look very, very average. But anyway, Mazepin, you thought, right, okay, let's go away and do something else. But it turns out Mazepin is now suing Haas. What a nincompoop. There for unpaid wages. He's rich anyway. Why? And he's trying to get back into Formula 1. I think the only way you can do that if you become a nationality of another country. That's his best way, but it's nincompoop play. I don't think he should have been in Formula 1 in the first place because he's way too slow and he's dangerous. Mick Schumacher's struggling a little bit now because the new teammate that come in is beating him a lot. So I don't know where that's going to go. I don't know what wages he's complaining about or what they can pay him, but I'll be very surprised if we see him again. Now, there hasn't been too many Russian Formula 1 drivers. I think when I did a blundering series of F1 2010, I think in Renault there was someone called Sergei Petrov, I think. I don't know who his opponent was. So there hasn't been a great deal of them. You'd have thought with the money in Russia, there would have been a few more, but there hasn't. Obviously, we're not going to have a Russian Grand Prix for a while in Sochi. There was never a Ukrainian Grand Prix, so I don't think there ever will be now. Ukraine's been a bit devastated, haven't they, by the bombardments and stuff. They're supposed to be hosting the Eurovision Song Contest next year, but what it looks like we're going to have to do that in the UK. Tom, Formula 1 should always have the top drivers. I agree. Matt James, have they talked about what's going to happen when cars go electric? Now, that is a very good question because... Formula E have got electric cars, haven't they? So the two will have to overlap. Have you seen the documentary of Senna? I think I have, Ian. I think I have seen that. Very powerful stuff. Ayrton Senna, one of the most, it's arguable, debatable, trying to compare people in different eras. Ayrton Senna was one of the best drivers of all time. Career cut short in the San Marino Grand Prix when he was driving for Williams during a crash, sadly. The same weekend as Roland Ratzenberger, which is, plays second fiddle in the news, but it's two drivers a death. So I have seen that documentary. It's pretty good. Wasn't there a Japanese driver that bought a seat in F1 too, says Ian? I'm not quite sure. There's a Chinese driver called Zhu. I don't know how he got his route in, but I think he's quite a good driver. Been around for Alfa Romeo, been a bit unlucky with their Japanese drivers in the past. Kobayashi there. I think you mean Tsunoda, who does the Alpha Centauri. I think he's the Japanese driver in there. But I think he might have won Formula 2. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that. So he might have brought money in sponsorship, but he's much better driver than Nikita Mazepin. His teammates, Pierre Gasly, is quite good. So he's sort of like similar around that sort of level. That's not bad, the old Formula 1. And they keep saying... Jackie Stewart, a triple world champion in the 70s, has said Lewis Hamilton should now retire. He should have retired at the top of his game. I'm not sure. He's obviously got a bit of competition with George Russell, who's now the young driver in the team, who's been beating him quite a lot. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't think he should retire. I mean, Mercedes obviously got a bit of a problem, but Hamilton got on the podium last time. I think he might be still good for a win if they manage to sort that out, and we could see the old Hamilton back again. Big hello to Jacob Martin. Are you going to ask how much it costed? How much what costed? Hello to Jason Arnott's Terrifying House Obsession. Hooray, he's gone live. My phone fell now. Oh, God. Yeah, I just got home and I just jumped on. I don't know how many people get notified. Hi all to user details. We're talking in the pub. Big cheers to you. I've got a banana beer. Cheers, bud. Don't know if you got a drink there or a tipple. There, right. There we go. About 10 squid. Right. Okay. I see. I didn't follow the conversation. Right. Sometimes I miss bits as I'm talking on and on and on. There's conversations within conversations in there, and that's always good to see. So I will say. We'll do some talking more, but I will do a shout out to the members. Big thank you to everyone that subscribed to the channel. It does help it go, especially in the watch time. So many YouTube channels now offering vaguely the same sort of thing. It is a banana beer, yes. I try and keep things a bit different, but yeah, lots of channels springing up. Last a few months, realise it's quite difficult or a lot of work and then disappear again. But it's a constant. So thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already done so and you watched this far into the video, then please consider doing so. And a massive thank you to the members as well. There, and which if you're on the second tier above, I appreciate all help from all members. Whatever tier you're on, you get access to the members section, see what videos are going to go up the following week in the members section. But if you're on the second tier above, I can shout your name unless you don't want me to, or I give you a shout out for anything that you're doing there, unless it's illegal and you don't want me to shout out that, then I'll be a decoy somewhere else. That's a joke. Licky, yes, as a Somerset girl, I do love my cider. Yeah. I've been looking at the ciders. There's a peach cider that's just come available. I thought that'd be quite interesting. Have you ever tried that? No, actually not peach cider, orange cider. Have you tried orange cider? So I'm used to it with the apples and the pears. Orange cider would be quite interesting. I think it's Thatcher's orange cider. I think I saw on the shelf. I have to pick some of that up. Blood orange cider, yeah. I'll have to pick some of that up, see what it's like. I think I might like that. I do like the fruits there. Right. Okay, what else? Yeah, shout outs. Yeah, that's what I do. I do interrupt myself quite a lot. Yeah, so big thank you this time round. Thank you guys. I mean, this, I know I struggle to get home sometimes and do these and try and fit them in, but it's on the preamble that one time I might be able to do this full time, and that gives me the strength to keep going. Sometimes it's a little bit tough, so thank you there. Big thank you too. Lemmy Barnett. Oh, what I say as well, as I always say, never feel pressured on, not this channel, well, this channel and any other channel, never feel pressured to do anything you don't want to. If you can't afford to be a member, you can't afford to do super chats and all that sort of stuff, don't worry. I don't expect you to. The primary function of this channel, for as long as I can keep it going, is to defeat stress. Sometimes we go through bad moments, and just to bring you up, or hopefully create a community, which we've sort of like got here, and we also like support each other. So that's what it's all about here. That's the main focus. So thank you very much. Big thank you to the members. Lemmy Barnett, thank you Lemmy. Grey Hulk 2, which helps me, well, every time you see a Commodore 64 game go up, that's thanks to Grey Hulk 2. Hello to Mark Davison. Hi guys, a bad experience with cider has made me teetotal. Sometimes drinks like that happen. If I sniff a bag of wine gums, I'm away with it. Okay, there we go. Yes, okay. So yes, a big thank you to Grey Hulk 2, Gypsum, fantastic. Thank you, Gypsum. Well, it's all written down here, so I don't have to remember. But I can remember a lot of it. Adam Phillips, a big thank you, Adam. A big thank you to Clinton Johnson. The Avenging Lettuce. Thank you, Avenging Lettuce. I would have mentioned all these in my Friday walk if we'd gone on it. Do check out last week's walk if you haven't already. Show that some love. The imagery on the camera's picking up is really great now. Now I'm getting the hang of the thing, and the apertures and the exposures and all that sort of stuff. Just wish I had more time. Thank you to Clinton Johnson, Avenging Lettuce, David B73, new member as well, or upgraded member. Thank you to Snuffkin Matt. Thank you, Snuffkin Matt. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you very much, sir. A big hello to you. Thanks as well to the great Obed Brinkman, talented photographer and musician as well. I love being your friend on Facebook too. So hello to you, Obed. Thanks, mate. A big thank you to Pete James. Also, thank you to Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession, one of the best named channels on the whole of YouTube. I just want to keep saying it. I want to say it more than Pigs in Space. Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession. Mark Davison, Salvation's here with Nick and his banter. Well, you know, I do try my best. Cheers, bud. Cheers, buddy boy. Cheers, buddy boy. In an ideal world, we'd all be at the pub together, won't we, having a laugh? Don't put the song Mr. Blobby on the jukebox if you're going up next. Okay. Right, Ian's had a bad experience with tequila. Did bad experience. Well, don't we know? Where was I up to? Pete James, Jason Arnott's Terrifying House of Obsession, a fun name to say, just say it a few times. Check out the site on YouTube. GTB Films, hello GTB. Thank you to N. Barrett, who keeps suggesting all these games for me to look at, and I write them down. I don't get to all of them, but I do write them down. Big thank you, thanks sir. Big thank you to Ratty Mallard1, thanks guys. The amazing Alf Fairweather, thanks Alf. Like your tweets, man. Like your tweets. Did I say? I didn't say tights. I said tweets. I don't know. You might have tights. I might like them as well. But you don't put pictures up of those. Thank you to Nikki S, who's in the chat box there. Thanks, Nikki. Sorry you've had a stressful week. Hopefully you get a chance to relax at the weekend. Thank you also to Claire Johnson, another one of my friends on the old Book of Faces, old Facebook. You might not be on Facebook, some people are. If you do a friend request, I'd probably say yes, but who knows? Unless I don't recognise who the hell you are, then I might do. But if you contact me on Twitter, then I'll know. Thank you to What Host Snookers. Thank you for all your help, What Host Snookers. He's a talented man, is What Host Snookers, in the way he puts videos together. So a lot can be learnt from him. Big thank you to Jeffrey Searby and also Steve Norman. Right, this is the bit where I need to get my mouse in play. Steve Norman, I haven't had a chance to look at this because I've literally got in. Steve Norman runs a site, you might hear me typing it, retroarcadia.blog, right? So if you want to open a separate window, you can look at it like me. Right, so let's see what he's been up to this week. He keeps it regularly updated, retroarcadia.blog. So he's got, here we go, Discovering Prehistoric Isle 2 Arcade. Oh, I don't know about that game, it looks good from the screenshots. Plus SNK 40th Anniversary Collection Bonus Review. Let's click on that. That looks interesting. I review a lot of games, but there's still so many that I don't know about. I haven't played too many arcade games. Looks like that's from Japan, looking at the artwork. I might be wrong. So, very entertaining is Steve Norman. It gives you all the information there. So if you want to build your knowledge, you can do. Very, very detailed indeed. I love it. The site looks good, nice and clean, very professional. Also, as well, he's got the Retro Arcadia Weekly Spotlight, where he looks at games he's been looking at in the week there. Always shows lots of great screen shots there. There we go. Favourite racing games. Yes, good stuff. Oh, he's got a screenshot. Is that a jetpack there? Yeah, a screenshot of jetpack. Always super cool. There we go. Is that yeah. There we go, so have a look at retroarcadia.blog. There's always something interesting to look at there. Quite a lot of content. I think last week he looked at Buggy Boy and the Atari ST as well. So yeah, keep up the good work, Steve, retroarcadia.blog. From Steve, and he's in the chat box as well. Big hello to Elfboy, vodka at sixth form party. We don't talk about it. Cheers to the vodka. No one gets into difficulty drinking banana beer. I think you should all get onto the banana beer, folks. Pick it up from your supermarket. It was there. It's at Morrison's. I know it's at Morrison's. Do you know, because I mentioned Eagle, it's Eagles, because I mentioned Eagles banana beer, I think they should send me a big crate, or at least send me in an advert there. Banana beer. Right, I've shouted you out enough, banana beer, and you're not even a member. Yes, big thank you also to Steve Q. Thank you, Steve Q. Steve's provided so much help to me. It's unbelievable. It really kept me going. Big thank you also to Phil Hill, Chono Baggy, the Chono Baggy man. Now Chono Baggy is an all-round good guy. I think I'm not a friend with him on Facebook, I don't think, but I'm a friend with him on I might be, I don't know, but I'm a friend with him on Twitter. He runs a great site. If you're on the Facebooks, have a look at this, and you're into your cosplay or want to get inventive with it. There's Copycats Cosplay, which Chono Baggy is a part of. Begins with a K, so KOPYKATZ cosplay with a C. They go to events. They're based in the Midlands, but you don't have to be based in the Midlands to join it. You can share your favourite get-up. So if you've got a top outfit that you've made, show off to them, see what they think. But they got great costumes there. Even I think I saw Captain Scarlet. Someone was dressed there in an event day somewhere. So that's well worth checking out there. If I had more time, I think I'd like to do cosplay. There's Doctor Who, Star Wars, anything science fiction really, and that's great fun to do. So check that out, show that love, give it a like. Copycats Cosplay. Okay, thank you, Chono Baggy. Big thank you also to Jason Holmes. There we go. So that all those people are on the second layer, second thingamajig. It starts off with On the Bus. That's the first one. It's very, very cheap there. So if you won't miss £2, then that really helped me. 1,000 people on £2. I'll be full time straight away, and who knows what would happen then. Then there's the second tier, and then the which is called Riding the Fun Train, and the third tier is In Space Baby. Now, In Space Baby, I love you people on In Space Baby. I love all. There's 8 of you there, a recent upgrader. So thank you. Hopefully I'm doing you proud. Sometimes I feel guilty when I can't do as much as I want to do, but I always will. Hope it's coming across. I always want to give as much as I possibly can. It was years ago. I had a Patreon, and then I got a job where I couldn't run the channel as much, and then I quit the Patreon straight away. I closed it because I felt guilty of taking money when I wasn't doing anything. So that so I do for some incentive. Keep going, entertain the troops, ease the stress, and we go kaboom. Thank you to the Supreme Gentleman there. Hello there. Right on the I have you, Butler. I think you meant I hate you, Butler, didn't you? Oh, I hate you, Butler. Yeah, I think you meant that. But anyway, I understand what you meant. Also correct, has got a lot to answer for. Right, cosplayers for the win, says Gumdio. Well, indeedy. Right, so big thank you to you 8 super people on the top tier. You are absolutely amazing. I love you. Yes, so a big thank you to S Jab. Thank you to Rossi Bossy. Rossi Bossy is a talented coder. He's very well, he works about 50 hours a day. I don't know how that's possible, but somehow he does it. Maybe his house is near a black hole and he affects time. He's currently working on the game Super Pixel 3D Grand Prix, as he has been for a while. Been shouting this out for, well, over a year, but the end result is going to be amazing, and I do some of the voice work for it. He does have a retro site if you want to see what he's doing. It's Ross, so R-O-Z-Z, .bossy, B-O... I can't remember now. Anyway, rossbossy.itch.io. That's it there, and you can see what he's up to. There is Nifty Lifty 2, Re-Enduro, which is a rework in the original game Enduro on the Atari 2600, which I loved, and it's really does it well. There's Re-Exevious as well. If you're aware of the game Exevious, he's had a re-go at that as well. And they're all pretty brilliant as a retro game as well. Now, all those games are brilliant, but the game he's working on at the moment, Super 3D Pixel Grand Prix, knocks them for absolute 6. When this game releases, I'm going to be very happy to review it. I'll be biased, of course, so I make no admittance to it, but Super Pixel 3D Grand Prix, I don't know if that's going to be the release name, certainly the working title in development, is going to be an absolutely awesome arcade adventure game, racing game there. Right, okay, blah, how often do you go to the pub? Not as often as I would like, because quite often I'm at work. The beer's cheaper at the supermarket. I think I went up there about 3 weeks ago, so I drop in every now and again. Big hello to Stuart Summer. Hi Nick, thanks for replying to my comment this week on Chaos Engine. That's alright. I probably reply about 98% of the comments. Sometimes there's one that's a bit derogatory, which I won't do. Not yours. Sometimes there's stuff I don't quite understand. But I will reply to about 98, 99% of them. So you're more than welcome. Even the old videos, I will have a look at those. I didn't realise the video was such an old one. That's all right. I must have missed it. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, Chaos Engine has come out on the Sega Mega Drive as well. Great game. Chaos Engine 2 wasn't quite so good. So, they're retro games, they're retro videos, so it doesn't really matter. I might as well have done it yesterday, that's fine. Although, my style, I must admit, does slightly change as I get more and more confident and develop it there. But Chaos Engine is a great game. There's a game also on the ZX Spectrum. Immediately, I can't remember what that's called. Oh, yeah, Survivy-Section. Yeah, if you're into Chaos Engine and you want that on the ZX Spectrum, Survivy-Section was a close one. It takes that style, but you've got different levels. I think there's a competition to try and develop a game similar to it, and that was a cool one. There, good, thank you. Where am I to? S-Jab, Rossi Bossy, also Martin R. Thank you, Martin, for all your help. You're a good guy. You cheer me up as well. I mean, I'm easily cheered up, but thank you. It's often, I don't know about yourself, often there's a few kind words can really lift someone or really change someone's day. And the same can be said for Colin Hold. Big thanks to you, Colin. Value Trend on Twitter. All of you people, I'll get this sort of impression in the chat box as well. If we ever met up, we would get on quite well. Tom Higgins up the top there. I may get the whiskey and Diet Coke out. Now, I think you should. I think you should get a whiskey and Diet Coke out. I think you should. There we go. Thanks, Colin Hope. Richard Mitton, thank you, Richard, for all your help and cheer. A very cheery fellow. Thank you to Tom as well. Graham Vebke, my friend in Australia, so thank you guys. And also, massive thank you to Dogs, who's recently upgraded from riding the fun train to in space, baby. So thank you there, much appreciated, dogs. All your help in the super chats as well. I don't know what the time difference is between me and yourself, or when you work, when you're not there, but you're a very valued member of the community. There we go. Ian Evans, 2% nincompoops. There's always going to be 2% nincompoops in the world. I mean, that's a good, pretty much racing. Tom says, Ross Boss's games are very good indeed, and I endorse that. Well done, Tom. That's Tom's review. Ross Bossy for the win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm really. Ross Bossy is absolutely an amazing coder. I'd like to see what sort of stuff he's doing in 5-10 years. It's going from strength to strength. So hopefully he gets the support and the luck of the sales of the games to actually move on to the next platform, because what he can create is going to be absolutely amazing. Right, okay. I think there'll be a lot of nonsense spoken after a few pints. Well, it's quite often even after half a pint. Remember, as well as this, I've had a cup of tea. I have. If I have to go to the loo, you have to save my seat, but I should be okay. Elf boy, I'm in my wellies, in my flat watching Glastonbury on the beach. Well, that's okay. Good. Let's all go together next year. That'd be good. And I can do the Friday walk in the rain in Glastonbury. There. The only music festival I've been to, Elf boy. Well, I think I must have been 19, 20 years old. It's in the early 90s, to the Reading Music Festival. I did it 2 years back to back, and both years was really, really good weather. So I've never experienced a Reading music. I've never experienced a music festival in the rain. Actually, funny enough, I do have a Top Trumps pack. Going back to Top Trumps from earlier on, I do have a Top Trumps pack, which basically is music festivals. I think there's one in Leeds. There, yeah. What percentage was the tea? I think that was 0%. I should have put some whiskey in it. Yeah, but I've never been to Woodstock either. There's a V festival that's quite near to me. I've never been to that. So I've only been to Reading a couple of times, where the Berks come from, in Berkshire. Or Berkshire. It might be Berkshire. Yes. Okay. Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray. Let's take another gulp of this. I love you guys. I'm glad everyone is there. Steve's been to the Red 23 times. Look, I don't know what year you went, but when I went, I think it was early 90s, I think the Red Hot Chili Peppers were maybe headlining. Cypress Hill was there singing Insane in the Membrane. I think I listened to Sleeper as well on one of the other stages. Frank Sidebottom was a comedian then. He had the same act both years I went. He didn't change it remotely. Was the Flaming Lips might have been there? The were there. I think the Prodigy might have been there one time. I might have just imagined that. There was quite a lot of stuff going on, but it was come from a time where all my kids, all my friends, my kids weren't there, I haven't got any kids, my friends were more up to date with the music, and I was sort of like grabbing along their coattails, because I was into Michael Jackson, Prince and Motown, and that wasn't cool to be into that on that crowd. They was into your indie stuff and your Britpop, yeah, so they knew what was going on, so they dragged me into that genre of music. And there's quite a lot of music from that era that I like, in particular Blur and Oasis. Okay, they're the main ones. I do like a bit of The Cure and Nirvana. Love David Bowie. There's a crossover there really, but he wasn't really considered Britpop. He was much earlier, but it was good. There's a lot of bands there which I've sort of like forgotten now. And I did enjoy myself, because the weather was pretty good, and I was a 19, 20-year-old person. I might have been there in 91, Steve. I think I was a year after, 92 and 93, I think. It's good. What's the weather been like, Steve, those times you've been going? I'd like to go there. If I got a head on the channel, that'd be nice. It'd be wonderful. It'd be wonderful if we'd all met up somewhere. Elf Boy, I saw Nirvana 1992. Was that a concert of theirs, or was that a festival in Reading or somewhere else? I mean, it would have been great to see Nirvana, wouldn't it? That's the sort of things you've got to see. Nirvana, David Bowie, to see those live would be good. Paul McCartney just turned 80. It's oddly enough that Paul McCartney thing. The Beatles had a song, didn't they? When I'm 64. It's supposed to be 64. Was very, very old, and I think people age slower nowadays, don't they? 64 is no age at all. I mean, in August I'm 48, so that's 16 years off. But time goes quicker as you get older, so I'll be a 64 then. Nirvana year in 1992 was horrendous weather. Tom Higgins, my friend Jeff has seen The Cure 9 times. See, with The Cure, it's got a lot of good songs, but I can only name the famous ones. Friday, I'm in Love. What was the other one? Well, there's another famous one there as well. But yeah, Nirvana as well. I know the main ones. Was Radiohead there one time? Creep. I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. Yeah, it's the sort of music that was playing in the Pink Toothbrush when I first got dragged there. That club in Rayleigh, notorious there. Yeah, interesting stuff. But I'd like to go to another one again. Gum Joe, my great grandfather lived 104 years. Well, I hope that's in the genes, Gum Joe. 104. Will you still be watching the live streams when you're 104? Hopefully, I would. Reggie 92 was Mudhoney, L7 Pavement. Oh, yeah, I watched Pavement. I seem to remember them. Teenage Fan Club. Oh yeah, that was good. Cool cats. I would have liked to have seen, was it last year or the year before, Dolly Parton was there. I'd like to have seen Dolly Parton do a thing. She played the Benny Hill music on the saxophone. What are the chances of that? Was it Glastonbury anyway? I'm going to the festival. Why is that? Because Dolly Parton is playing the Benny Hill theme music on the saxophone. All right, okay, yeah, good. I'll go as well. It's strange anyway. Phoenix Festival 1996. I haven't been there. Where's Phoenix Festival? Where's that held? And Nicky S. Pulp. Now that would have been a good one to see. Let's All Meet Up in the year 2000. Yeah, and Common People. They're their two mega hits, weren't there, from them? Common People. Yeah, that's a great song to karaoke. There's a lot of probably in your room on your own. There, on YouTube, there's a lot of karaoke music. I don't know if you've ever gone to it. Have a go at that. It gives you the lyrics. I have to have stuff in lower key to sound half decent, but I'm still pretty bad. But in the comfort of your own room, it's not bad to belt out a few songs, and that's good to ease stress as well. As long as you haven't got thin walls and neighbours who are heavyweight boxers or kung fu experts, it's good to ease stress by belting out a song completely out of tune. To the karaoke on the YouTube and not embarrass yourself down the pub. Yes, John Lennon hated When I'm 64. Well, I'm not surprised. It was a bit nursery rhyme, wasn't it? Did. I liked Octopus's Garden. I think that was written by Ringo Starr. In an octopus's garden, in the shade, Ringo Starr. And then he went on. Then he went on to comment on Thomas the Tank Engine. Bum 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 bum. I don't think he did the music though for Thomas the Tank Engine, did he? So yeah, big thank you. Cheers to all the subscribers. Cheers to all the members. Cheers to everyone in the chat box. Cheers to everyone that's watching this after it's gone live, or people watching in the background. Hooray! Hooray, hooray, hooray. So no, hope you've had a very good week. I've got one last thing I need to talk about there, unless you've got any Q&As afterwards. Mind you, I'm starting to feel a bit merry now. I got work tomorrow. I can't do this sort of stuff. Well, I can, that's a blatant lie. Elf Boy, I saw the Pulp reunion at Hyde Park. Man, I love gigs. I go back after the bad years. Yeah. I tell you one lot of people I wouldn't go to see if they reformed. New Kids on the Block. Hanging Tough. What's going on there? Hanging Tough. Are you good enough? I don't know. Possibly. Yeah, the other thing, yeah. Now, I haven't got any notes on this either. I've just got the headline that I was supposed to research, but I haven't had time to research it. In Hong Kong, we're zipping to Hong Kong now. There used to be an annex separate from China, but now it's a part of China, I believe. Offshore, there was this jumbo-sized floating huge boat, which also served as a restaurant. It was good. It was deluxe. It was luxury. You can go there and have a good old sausage sandwich, probably something a bit better than that, and get paid. Have to get charged an extortionate price. But it was good. It was the jumbo floating boat, which is name escapes me. Now, because of the COVID and recessions, people weren't going to the boat. They sealed it off. It was a COVID problem there, and it wasn't making any money. I think it was a big loss every time. So they decided to go out there with tugboats and tow the boat back into a shore and retire it for a bit until times change. Okay, that seemed like a wise idea. It's an iconic boat. It's been there for quite a while. And as the tugboats were tugging it back, something weird happened. Water started getting in the boat. Oh no! And before they could save it, the thing toppled over and sunk to the bottom of the ocean. This boat's worth about 120 million, maybe more. The restaurant's gone. It's gone to the bottom of the ocean. Oh no. It's not like a pedalo or like a small rowing boat. This is a massive, expensive restaurant that's suddenly sunk. Anyway, so that went blubbity blubbity blub. So what I'm trying to say to you is, don't book a table, reserve a table at this restaurant there, because you'd have to dive down, and your food's probably going to be soggy. Probably have too much salt in it. So this is more really a customer service announcement to make sure you're a nincompoop. No, you're not a nincompoop. That's it. Forgive me, I've had half a pint of banana beer. So don't go there. Book somewhere else. McDonald's or something like that. There we go. If you heard of that story, maybe so. I don't know if you're in a bad state as me. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. If I missed anyone as they come in the chat box, then apologies. I mean, how's this for a format? I don't think live streaming was invented for this in mind. Was it some guy just talking off the top of his head about nothing in particular? But here it is. So, if you ever want to find out more about someone that runs a channel, then you look at these sort of like videos. Quite often you might see a channel where someone's talking over the top, or sometimes not talking over the top really, and you don't really know who they are, but hopefully you know a bit about who I am. I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I try to keep it honest really. Yeah, always stay true to yourself. Don't try to be anyone else, especially if it's Daley Thompson and you'll look an idiot in the Olympics. But just trying to be true to yourself, play to your strengths, don't worry about what everyone else is doing, just do what you're doing and do it to the best of your abilities. There we go. I'm like some guru. I know, at the top of a mountain, where you go up there, you hike up there, it takes about 16 days, and said, "Oh, wise man, give me some knowledge." And I'll say something like, "Heat the water before you make a cup of tea." Something like that. And say, "Oh, thank you, oh wise man." And then you go back down. But I was probably wiser than that, so I probably don't go up the mountain in the first place. Instead, I do a sort of like live stream. Let's read some of the comments. Tom Higgins likes Roxette. Well, there we go. Matt James, Lunch is Ruined. Is that a band? Yeah, that's a band. Lunch is Ruined. That's a good band. I know low key. Still love Vanilla Ice. Ice Ice Baby. Now, this is something I meant to mention. I can just tag on. Pop music these days, it's very hard to break through, and rock music as well, because it's all manufactured. It's all manufactured, isn't it? Hanging tough. It's all manufactured, all manufactured there. So back in the day, how would people like David Bowie have broken through if no one's taken any notice of them, and James Brown and all those sort of things? Can you imagine David Bowie, Bowie if you wish, auditioning for X Factor? Louis Walsh and Simon Cowell looking at him, and after he sung it, they all think his voice is a bit unusual, and then Simon Cowell says something like, "I think you'd be good in a boy band." Like that, David Bowie. No one unusual would ever break through. Imagine Jimi Hendrix on Britain's Got Talent doing all this stuff, and David Wellings goes, "You're a bit too weird. You're too weird. You're weird," like that, and then he then he don't go through to the next round. Jimi Hendrix. So talented people just there must be so many talented people just not getting a chance anywhere at all, or trying to find traction at all. It's all about it's like books really. If you want to write it used to be back in the day, if you wrote a book, it'd be quite hard to get it published. But you'd have a chance. If it was a good book, you'd have a chance. Now, publishers don't want to touch anyone that's unknown to do a new book. There might be one in a billion. They rather publish a book that's got a famous person already, that's got the guaranteed sales straight away. That's why sometimes there's an old industry about people ghostwriting books for famous people already, so they put their name on the blooming thing. It's all gone a bit backwards. I think as the generations go forward now, with Google and the internet, I think generations will be progressively more stupid. There, I'm one to talk. Well, that's probably why I haven't had any kids yet. I haven't given up on it, but my kids would be stupid, would they? I think they grow up quite well rounded, but it's very hard now to find. I'm going everywhere with this. It's very hard now. My age, 47. It's very hard now to find someone that hasn't had a relationship before. Has got 4 or 5 kids, or at least a couple of kids or 3 kids. That's a different dynamic for me that hasn't had there. DT JP has had half a pint, same as me. Same as me, sir. We got something in common. Cheers to you. We're brothers in pub drinking stuff. Good. Right, half a pint. If anyone else has had half a pint or more, then comment below. If you had a pint of wine, then I'm sure you're not standing up still. There we go. Let's catch up with some of the comments then. Going down the thing. DDJB. I saw Hendrix in Reading. I'm not sure about that. I think he might have been smoking something. Are you sure it wasn't? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. MC Hammer, and he's shopping carrying trousers. Yeah. I'll tell you what about MC Hammer, Tom. If MC Hammer come into my supermarket with those big trousers, and I suspect he'd be a shoplifter as he goes round the alcohol, probably trying to put stuff in, and he'll do, don't shoplift. That's what I would say. He'd be very, very, very suspicious. Big hello to Joachim Jesus. How we can be good on something if something makes us go back? It's something I've missed a bit of this conversation now. Let's play, and you are the one. Well, good to see you, Joachim. Hope you're having a good week there. Good. Elf boy, I'm utterly mashed. Are you, Elf boy? Now that is very interesting indeed. You're the sort of guy that I want to interview then. If you're utterly mashed. How long have you been drinking? For? What's the worst song to dance to, Elf boy? You can answer that. It's like we're on that QI show. There, good. I'll tell you a joke then. No one would laugh at this joke. This is a test, Elf boy, to see if you are utterly mashed. No one would laugh at this joke unless they're completely and utterly drunk. Right. What's orange? Red? What's orange? And sounds like a parrot. I'll muck that up. What's orange and sounds like a parrot? A carrot. Hey! Well, you can have that joke. That's yours. If you laughed at that, there's no hope for you, sir. You're gone. Right. Matt James, I'm glad I'm not a parent. Yeah, well, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how. I'd like to think I'd be okay. The problem is, getting back to what I was saying, I'm 47. I don't think I could take on someone else's kids. I hate to say it. I wish I was stronger. I wish I could if I really loved them. But I think I struggle with it. So then that means, instead, could I go out with someone that hasn't had kids yet? And that'd probably be someone in their 20s, I presume. So could I go out with someone 20 years younger than me? Well, yeah. Easily. But then the other question is, that person in their 20s, could they go out with someone 20 years older than them? And it gets a bit of a struggle then. Because I think I'm getting sort of the best deal. So I might be single forever now. But I'm still open. I'm still open to at least the chances of the thing. But I'm quite laid back. But I do suffer a bit from stress. So maybe I'm best single. Who knows? I see the positives and the negatives. People in relationships seem to be jealous of me, and I'm sort of like jealous of them as well, because you just see the best aspects of both scenarios, don't you? I never have to go on a school run. My time's my own. I never get a kid coming to me saying, can I borrow £20? And I haven't got £20. It's what you get used to, isn't it? Life's a one-off hit deal, isn't it, really? So you do your best there. There's a guy at work who's got about 7 kids, and he's happy enough, and that works for him, so it's good. I must admit, it'd be good at Christmas for about, would it? It's oh dear, I've hit the keyboard. The family there, that'd be a good having that. Tom, Nick, if you were a character in Only... Well, what's going on here? Nick, if you were a character in Only Fools and Horses, put some money in your pocket. That's a UK show from the 80s about a wheeler-dealer Del Boy. But anyway, Nick, if you were a character in Only Fools and Horses, you'd be Nick the Hat. I suppose so. I could be like Mickey Pierce. There's some great lines in that Only Fools and Horses show. There's Mickey Pierce. He ran a business. We worked for someone, and he was trying to impress a Del Boy. He said, Del, our firm is being sued by Panorama. Yeah, they don't repeat Only Fools and Horses enough. Red. Yes, so, see, sometimes I see the back half of comments in here. Steve Norman going on about Rose West. I hope that's not a pin-up for you there. Right, Jerry Hall is single. Is she? Oh, she is now. Is she single now? She's separated from Rupert Murdoch. Yeah, she got any kids? Yeah, okay, Jerry Hall then. I first come across her in that original Batman movie, where she was the Joker Jack Napier's girlfriend. They're played by Jack Nicholson. Hopefully she hasn't got that weird face there. She's got an well, she ain't got an odd voice. It's where you are. Jerry Hall, okay, get that set up. I'd go out Jerry Hall. How old is she? Possibly. But it's all about where you are in life, being happy. So I've got a lot. I think I've got a lot to offer. This is turning into one of those date videos now. Hello, my name's Nick. I'm 47. I got lots to offer. I like cats, but I don't own one. I run a YouTube channel. I'm into social media, going out and staying in. I like ice cream and banana beer. Contact me on doobie. Well, if that doesn't do it, I don't know what will. Actually, I don't know if you've watched watch Bottom. That's with Rick and Mal and Aid Edmondson. There was one episode where they had a dating agency, but their videos weren't great. Rick Mal's chat-up line, which I could use, I suppose. Eddie Izzard gave me a chat-up line once. Well, not me personally. He said, "Do you like bread?" And that's going to work. Everyone likes bread, don't they? But Rick Mal's chat-up line was, "You've got a cracking blouse." If you're a lady watching this, would you like that? If you've got a cracking blouse, or do you like bread? I need the feedback, girls. Let me know. Would that work? Right, Nikki says 7 kids. I just about cope with the one. When I'm at the supermarket, sometimes I envy large families coming, but I do see a bit of a handful. You see the mother coming through, and there's about 4 or 5 kids running around, all screaming and shouting. There's a photo booth they run in. There's this mechanical toy bus thing. They jump in and scream and shout, and I think, oh God, thank goodness I'm not there. But another part of me must be quite rewarding at times, but blooming expensive. That was the thing that worried me the most, the cost of the 4 or 5 kids. 1 kid is fine. 4 or 5, well, they're starting to get a bit weird. Has Jerry Hall come into the chat box yet? Let me know if she comes in. So I say, cheers, Jerry Hall. I don't know what she drinks, but she actually I struggled to keep Jerry Hall entertained. I think she went out with Mick. Well, she's married to Mick Jagger, wasn't she? First of all, Mick Jagger there. And yeah, actually, another tangent in my brain. I was going. I was doing a YouTube. You know when you keep clicking on YouTube videos and recommended YouTube videos, and you're going all over the place. Somehow I was on a Mick Jagger one. There's Maroon 5, Moves Like Jagger. But anyway, that took me to a song by will.i.am. I can't remember what it's called now. But Mick Jagger coming on it. J-Lo was in it as well. Someone in the comment section will put the name of the song. It's will.i.am is singing it, and the video he's dressed in white. Starts off on a motorbike, then he's in a car, then a helicopter smashing through stuff. But anyway, you got to go hard or you got to go home. I think that is that the name of the song. That's the series. You got to go hard or you got to go home. Anyway, J-Lo singing the chorus, and then right at the end, predicted by me, suddenly Mick Jagger's in the end singing "You gotta go home, you gotta go home" like that, but sounding like Mick Jagger, not someone with a sore throat. And I thought that was good. Someone put that in the comment section what that was. Right. Thanks, Stuart. No, Nick, she's not here yet. Well, Nikki's paging Jerry Hall. Well, good. She's not one of my friends. She's not one of my friends on the Book of Faces. I'd have to say she's not there at all. So what have we covered so far? I didn't expect anyone to be here at the start, and then people turned up. Good. Right. We're at the pub, aren't we? This is just jokes. This ain't a serious video. This ain't a proper live stream. It's just facilitating us being in the same room up the pub, isn't it? Really? Okay. There we go. So yes, I did an intro. that's what that says. Oh, God knows, that's a work of fiction. Anyway, I told you what games have gone up there. We talked about Kenobi, didn't we? That you got to check that video out. Kenobi versus Vader finale. Type that later on tonight. Type that in and see an iconic lightsaber duel between Ben Kenobi, played by Ewan McGregor, and a young Darth Vader, played by Hayden Christensen, where Darth Vader gets his helmet and exposes his face, and you see the connection between the two characters. See that? We talked about that John Lewis nincompoop who was thieving from the stores 45k. He's now in prison. Crime doesn't pay. You just looked at the Batman villains for that. Jack Napier, the Riddler, who else? Scarecrow. Mr. Freeze, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a freeze coming. You're not sending me to the cooler. Yeah, there's lots of... That's a terrible Batman and Robin. Anyway, all those villains. We talked about Marzipan, Formula One, trying to sue the Haas team. Should Hamilton retire? Well, I don't think he should, but Jackie Stewart thinks he should, and David Coulthard as well. Coulthard, let's call the whole thing off. And I also talked about that Hong Kong jumbo floating superboat that is sunk, and I advise you not to book a table there, or you're going to get soaked. And the waiters have probably run out of oxygen. It'll be a really bad evening. There we go. So, you know, we might come to an end. It depends what you're talking about. It depends what other questions you've got for me. It'd be rude not to finish this pint at least, and I've got at least 3 inches of the beer. You jokesters. Yes. So, are you at work tomorrow, or have you got Saturday and Sunday off? I'm working both Saturday and Sunday, but there will be a couple of ZX Spectrum videos on the channel. Their members know what they are. I can't remember off the top of my head what they are. They tend to go up at 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock. I always keep the same times. Sometimes people say, should you make it later? Well, possibly, but people are used to those times now, 10 and 3. If you follow me on Twitter, links to, well, eventually go up if I'm at work there of the videos. And then there'll be, Sunday there'll be a couple of videos as well. But yeah. I need to put in another live stream to make up for last week's stuff. We're over halfway through the year, aren't we? Time's moving quite fast, faster than I would like. Eventually, there'll be the Halloween stuff back in the shops again, wouldn't there? Really, right? Okay, good. Right, let's read what you're talking about. Anyway, you're much more interesting than me, that's for sure. I'm sitting here with this red hat on. I don't know why a guy's wearing a red hat in the pub. People are probably commenting. You're on the other side of the table. You're sitting there, so you're opposite me. Cheers to you. We're talking just stuff. Right, I'm going to read what you're saying and maybe answer that. If you've got any Q&As before the end of this stream, I will answer those as well. But time always goes quick. Has this really been going about? It's been going an hour and 25 minutes. I've just been sitting here unplanned and stuff. Anyway, let's see what you're talking about. Pub lock-in, says Elboy. Yeah, lock that door. Lock that door. I think my favourite streams so far have been the Christmas and the New Year streams, where they've gone about 3 hours or so. We looked at multiple systems. That works quite well, really. Okay, the comfy chat is a comfy chat. Ooh, matron, yeah, well, yeah. I see when you're the problem is when you're doing stuff live. There's no edit button. There is. I'll let you into a secret. When I record the gameplay videos, I do the commentary live as well. Every so often, when I listen to it back before I upload it, I might say the wrong year. So, or something like that. I think, I can't get away with that. Sometimes I leave it in, sometimes I won't. There. Mark Davison, off Saturday, in Sunday. Well, that's half and half. Yeah, no. When I'm doing the video, sometimes I say something wrong. Now, what I would do in the edit, say something like, and this video is by Odin Computers in 1985. Right. If I then suddenly are reading it back, oh no, I know it's 1986. So basically, then I get the thing, and I mute or cut out 1985, and then I'll be by the recording facility I use is a program called Audacity, which is free, which I highly recommend. The microphone I've got is SL150 something or other. Anyway, Micro Studio, something like that. Anyway, and then what I'll do, so I've cut that out, and then what I want to see is 1986 or something. So they'll go. So I try and do in the same pattern. I go 1986, and I have that recorded. I try and put that in the gap that I just cut out. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens every now and again. But normally, I like keeping the errors in. It's a bit of a rough and ready channel. It's not encyclopedic, as you know. It's about having a bit of fun. It's from the standpoint of how you got on the game in the first second go. We're playing it as kids, mucking about around a friend's house, haven't necessarily read the instructions, rather than the adult has gone through all the instructions word by word with a fine tooth comb. Sometimes I leave some of the errors in, or I haven't noticed them, and that creates a bit of commentary as well on the channel too, which I suppose in the long run it sort of like helps. But I always try and improve it. Hopefully it comes across. And it's like anything really. The more videos or the more things you do of something, the more practice you get, the more you learn and you improve it. As long as you're self-critical, not to a point where you destroy yourself. As long as you're self-critical and analyse the sort of stuff, okay, next time that was okay, but next time I'll do it like this, or that was okay, but it needs another thing in here. But that's how it all goes. It all goes right. There we go. Nick, is that cracking Attic Attack PC game? Is it being made for Spectrum? Says Tommy. Yeah, you're talking about Milky's Mansion. Thanks, Nicky. Yes, the New Year's streams were pretty good, weren't they? Yeah, just to answer Tom, Milky's Mansion. Now, when I put that video up, the authors, well, the graphic artist and Richard Jordan, who wrote it, did both comment, and I love it. I love it when that happens, because that's cool. It happens quite a lot, actually, which I feel quite blessed. They don't need to comment, but they do, which makes me think I'm doing an okay job of attracting their attention amongst all the massive stuff that's going out. But I've been told, I'm not sure if Richard Jordan said it or the graphic artist, I've been told the version I did was for the PC, which is brilliant. There's a few bells and whistles to unlock different palettes, but as far as I'm aware, there is a version being made, Milky's mentioned, for the Atari? No, the Spectrum next, and they're also making a version of the Spectrum 128K. Now, if that is the case, if they do release a 128K version, which is free, I presume it will be, because Milky's Mansion was. I mean, they could have charged a few quid for it, but well done to Richard Jordan. Also did a cracking version of Attic Attack as well. I believe they are developing a standard 128K version as well. I don't know how they're going to get the speed together to keep that going, Tom, but I'll be interested to see. But I will certainly be reviewing it if it does actually happen. Right, Matt James, you're not perfect, unfollowed now. Oh, well, there you go. What can you do? I mean, I will say a little bit as well. When I first started this channel, no one was watching at all, and it was a little bit soul destroying. Then eventually I had a couple of people that were there, and then they disappeared. Then there was replaced by another couple of people. They disappeared. It was trying to get momentum. Then there was about 3 or 4 people talking with each other, and that was hard going. But now I've got all you lot, and see, it's just getting to different bases so far, and just keep doing what you're doing, and just be honest there, and don't cheat. And when I say cheat, don't buy millions of subscribers and look great, but there's no one here. You need the activity as well, and be genuine as well. Don't treat people as you'd like to be treated yourself. Yeah, Milky's Mansion, that's good. I mean, if anyone hasn't downloaded that yet, I can't remember the site, but if you do, it's on the PC. It's brilliant. It's free. It's like the sequel to Attic Attack, but it's really fast in 3D. Check out the review that I did of that. But if you want it, type it. You can be playing it later today. Type in Milky's Mansion PC, and they probably get a link there. But any site connected to Richard Jordan, then you can be downloaded. It's great. Unlike Attic Attack, well, a bit like Attack, you got a choice of about 3 or 4 characters. They've all got different missions. The Knight, it's got the original mission of Attic Attack, collecting 3 bits of the key, but the others have got more trickier stuff to do. There we go. Right. Let's have a look what else you got there. Is there a piece of music from a game that really makes you smile? I love Hard Day's Night from Milky. Well, I still need to review that. And menu music from Roadrunner is excellent. Yeah, I mean, the music, there's a few. Now, IK Plus on the Commodore Amiga, I love that. Bomb bomb. Anyway, etc. There's quite a few Amiga ones. Shadow of the Beast 2. There's a few good ones there. Chuck Rock, the music in there. But the classics. It's more like sounds really. The music, the actual music, the sound effects from Attic Attack. There, which have been reused in Milky's Mansion and the remake of Attic Attack on the PC. It's the sound effects that really get me. So that when you click an item and Jet Set Willy, are all good. But music-wise, it's probably more the Commodore Amiga stuff. Steve Norman. I used to do an internet radio channel. Well, that sounds good. In the late 90s, only ever had one listener. Yeah. Do you ever feel like redoing it? Maybe. I mean, there's lots of different options now. I think there's things with podcasts, isn't there? Spotify and various ones. You ever fancy having another go at that? I mean, I've never done a collaboration. There was something at one point that's supposed to be happening that fell through with a racing channel. I think that's called VVV something. There was a channel of a similar size called Main Master. That never happened. I think it's I need to instigate it myself, really. I think via Skype or Zoom and interview someone else. I mentioned it a few times. Cited the example of Rob Brydon as site. Rob Brydon's a very famous Welsh actor and comedian who hosts Would I Lie to You? Regular panel member of various other shows as well. He does various interviews of famous people. I quite like to do something. Obviously, I won't be able to interview famous people because they won't come up, but it'd be interesting to interview other people there, maybe members or other channels or coders, all that sort of stuff. I like the idea of that. Stephen on the C64 Gauntlet music makes yes, that's a good one as well. Elf Boy, you found like-minded folk. Yeah, I do. I feel blessed. So I thank you for your friendship and thank you for finding the channel and watching. It's always a little bit random to keep going. I think we might be able to be doing this to 10 years. Wasn't monetized for about 6 of those years because I wanted to make sure I knew what I was doing before that point. And nowadays, of course, you get a channel that springs up with no videos and suddenly it's got Patreon set up straight away, which I'm not here to say who's right and wrong, but I think that's not the correct thing to do. But anyway, that's good. You get buskers as well, so why not? There, right. You found like-minded folk. There you go. Good stuff. Stephen, you don't want to do that. Oh, fair enough. Yeah, it takes a bit. I'm a bit jealous of Joe Rogan. I'd like to do what he's doing, really. Get people in and just keep talking and talking. People got to feel welcome and that sort of stuff. How are you with your drink? I mean, Elf Boy was mashed, but it looks like he can spell correctly there. Is this a bit where we all get super drunk and we say, I love you, I really love you, mate? Yeah, good, right. Good stuff, good stuff. Super Mario's music makes Tom happy. And Tom, your videos are always great. Thanks, mate. He's trying to keep the enthusiasm, really. I mean, I do occasionally see videos on other channel. I ain't got too much time. Sometimes you can see people losing enthusiasm for it, like they're doing the commentary and thing, and it's more like, oh no, I've got to make a video. This game came out in 1992. Thank you, subscribe, bye. So that's extreme. No one's ever like that. That was extreme case, but you got to at least seem interested in the thing, and which I generally am. But you know, I might have a mental problem. I'm not like a normal person, but that helps for this sort of thing. That is for sure. Right. Any other questions feeding through? Joachim, I need a drink. Well, as long as you don't get, you might not be aware of this show, Joachim. As long as you don't get like Father Jack Hackett from Father Ted, yeah. You might want to Google Father Jack Hackett from Father Ted, and you'll see a great image of an old vicar priest. Fictional, of course. Right, your pint seems to have grown. Maybe it's like distance thing. It gets quite small. It's getting smaller there. It gets big. It's a distance thing. I'm sure it's a distance thing rather than anything else. Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Matt. I think I've only played one of those games on the Mega Drive. Apparently, there was more Alex Kidd games on the Master System, which is not a system I've covered as of yet. But I think it's inevitable, isn't it? I think the ZX Spectrum will always be the core of what we look at, because that's the thing I grew up with. Commodore Amiga, there's still quite a few good games there, but a huge amount of rubbish ones. we come up to 500 almost there, so about half the Spectrum ones. Mega Drive almost up to 200, but yeah, we Commodore 64, there's loads to do there. We might come to a different system there. Super Nintendo, I've enjoyed doing, hit on those every now and again. Nintendo 64, I haven't done any of those for quite a while, but you know. Ian knows who Father Jack Hackett is, as does Tom. Yes. Kevin and Perry's YouTube channel. Well, you know. Yeah. So you know, I got that. It always reminds me of Paul Whitehouse as well. Have you seen that Paul Whitehouse and Bob Mortimer fishing show? Yeah, that's quite funny as well. Yeah. Well done, Elf Boy. That was a good quote from Father Ted. These cows aren't small; they're just far away. Right. Okay. Joachim, honestly, I don't see too many videos from you. Well, fair enough. I'm glad you've seen this stream. But honestly, I love them. Better playing Spectrum games, but we need to speak. Yeah, you know. You don't feel pressured ever to watch anything. I don't think I'd be very surprised if anyone's watched everything on this channel, because it's very, very prolific indeed. I don't know how long it would take to watch all of them. Probably about a year. probably reviewed over 3,000 games, and that's incredible. That's including mods, of course, and homebrews too. So it'll just keep on going for as long as I can do it. I can keep going. I'm always investing the money made on the channel for what there is on new technology. We've got a new camera, a gimbal. I'm a bit dubious about should I pay money on this. There's a new computer potentially. The computer I've got now, I think it's got 2 cores. If I ever want to live stream PlayStation 4 stuff, then I probably need 4 or 6 cores. So do that. But then I think, how often would I do a live stream of PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3 stuff? I probably do mainly the retro ones, so maybe I don't need that. It'd be good every now and again to see the pinball stuff on the PlayStation 4, but that was the least watched stuff on the channel anyway, so maybe that'd be taking me in the wrong direction. So let's read something else. What you got there? Tom Higgins, my little horse, my lovely horse. That's from Father Ted as well. Sonic was the first game you ever owned, says Ian. Been a lot of Sonic games. Did you play that Sonic Spinball as well? I'm a pinball fan. Yeah, it's like pinball, but you use hitting Sonic around. Come out on the Game Boy Advance as well, and the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis, depending on where you are in the world. Matt James, you played Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle. You've completed that one. Not the best. Oh, it's not the best in the series. Fair enough. I didn't really get the hang of it, to be honest with you. Alex Kidd lost his job to Sonic, says Gumjo. Yeah, that's true as well, wasn't it? Really. Alex Kidd come over from the Sega Master System, so it's like a bit of replay value there. But then, of course, when the Mega Drive, they was looking for a new hero to rival Mario, I suppose. And Sonic the Hedgehog pretty much did it. I'm not sure about that companion he had. Was it Fox and Tails or Tails Fox? Sandy Toxic. It was one of those. It was one of those things. Right. Tom Higgins, it's great you do videos for everything, as it's always cool to see Commodore 64 Milky. I try and mix it about a bit. I mean, there's something that could be said if I just did Spectrum and Spectrum alone and nothing else, I'd have more subscribers. But, you know, it's hard to say, isn't it, really? I mean, some videos get more views than others, but that's just the way things go. Sometimes I get favoured in the YouTube algorithm and something flies, or I might be mentioned on a popular blog and something flies then, and I think, oh, I've cracked this, I'm doing well, I can quit work. But then we're back to reality again. So, you know, you got to be. It's very humble in this job. You got to stay humble. You got to stay wise. You got to just appreciate what everyone else is doing as well. To be honest with you, right? Joachim, Sonic Spin was cool. I'm glad you like that. But different using Sonic instead of a ball. Yeah, good, and you can manoeuvre him as well. Didn't Neil Tennant sing My Lovely Horse? I don't. Maybe he did, Ian. Maybe he did. My PlayStation 3, Ian. That's still going as well. I mean, the Grand Theft Auto 5. I only got the PlayStation 3 version. Apparently, there's a VR version now, isn't there, on the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. I don't own a PlayStation 5. I don't think many people do. Cheers! I haven't said that for a while. I don't think many people do own a PlayStation 5, do they? My lovely horse. Now, I think this is on these pub streams. This is turning into one of the longer ones of the two. If you've watched all the way through it, then well done you. You're obviously drunk already, or you just stepped into the pub, or you're crazy. If you've watched this far and haven't subscribed, I think you should do, because we love you. We'd love you as a part of the community, sharing your dodgy chat or whatever you're doing. Then next week, hopefully, 2 live streams. That's it. We like to play games, don't we? Really, that is it. Right, okay. So we're getting sort of like to the end of the stream. Any more questions here? Mark Davidson, do people recognise you when you're on the tour? I must admit, I've been okay so far. There was one. Actually, I won't say the name. There was one person at work which took me a bit by surprise. It was a few months ago. I was off the till to this bit because it was quite quiet. I was kneeling down, stacking, tidying up the drinks aisle, soft drinks, lemonade and stuff. And this guy comes up to me. He was a top bloke. I think he's watched some of the streams there. Works on the Twilight stuff. He said, I thought I recognised that voice, and I looked at him. What's going on here then? And he recognised me from this, which is it's a small world. I love talking to him, and he mentioned other people that are quite close there. It's good. So it's not a regular thing. I think it's my voice. My voice gave me away. I said some joke about tidying the shelf, some flippant mark there, but yeah. It's only happened once. It's not a regular thing. I'm not that famous. An update from Elfboy. Stand by, everyone. I need to drink this for God, that's the lowest I've got. Normally I end up with half left. Right, Elfboy update. You've probably read it already. Update. I'm more mashed than earlier when I reported I was mashed. Are you mashed like a potato? Did you like that carrot joke earlier on? There we go. Divine Comedy, says Ian Evans. That's it. What is your favourite console computer? I think this is a very predictable answer. I love my Game Boy Advance, which I had. I carried that everywhere, on the train, on the bus. I love that to bits. More than the PS Vita, which come a bit later. But the favourite console might have been the Vega if they'd actually produced it. But thankfully I didn't put any money to that doomed Indiegogo campaign. Hopefully you didn't either, but there's some of you that might have done. But my favourite one is the first one I owned. It's the rubber keyboard 48K that either arrived in 1982 or 1983. It arrived at one Christmas, and I loved that thing to death. A few years later, a friend got ZX Spectrum 48K Plus. More advanced keyboard, one could argue, but I still prefer the rubber keyboard. That was a dream to me. Whenever I think of retro gaming, that's the thing I think of first. Got very, very hot. Quite poorly designed, but it was really easy to program on it. It's very, very quick, and I've got a lot of affection for that. The Amiga will come later when I was at senior school. I was a bit of a late adopter to that, but I didn't have the same kind of love than my first one. There's a lot to be said at that. The school computer was a BBC Micro. Didn't really know much stuff about that, to be honest with you. But yeah, my ZX Spectrum, that was the best, 48K, and that's why I reviewed the most of that. Thank you. Mark Davidson, do fans come and see you? Yeah, if that ever happened, I think I can probably quit. No one's really recognised me at work at all whatsoever. But I suppose they could track me down and come in. There was an old lady that was stalking me a bit, but that was probably because I was too kind to her originally. But she knew nothing about the channel. There, thank you. I've answered that question. Now it's gone. Right, Mega Drive and Dreamcast. I've never played the Dreamcast, Ian. That one passed me by. That was a rival to the PlayStation 1, wasn't it? Had a few PlayStation games, but by the time the PlayStation came, the games were getting quite expensive, weren't they, really? CDs instead of discs. It was interesting times. It was interesting times there. So, you know, Ian's got a PS5. I'm very jealous straight away. How many games are there on the PS5 at the moment? Is there a lot or just a few? Okay. Okay. I was going to end the stream then, but Elfboy's asked another question there. Will you review Granny's Garden on the BBC Mic? See, at the moment, it gets asked quite a lot. The systems that get asked quite a lot are the Amstrad CPC, lesser extent the BBC Micro, the NES, and the Master System. At the moment, I've got no plans to review any of those, but eventually I might do a few of my favourite games. Now, the Amstrad CPC, apparently there's a homebrew in development already released called Attic Attack. I might have to do that. Apparently there's Attic Attack also come out on the BBC Micro, because I love that game so much. At one point, probably in the Thursday slot, I might have a look at those sometime. The Thursday slot can be anything. Generally Commodore 64, SNES, sometimes Nintendo 64, Milky's Mansion on the PC was one once. Good evening to Polymorph 71. Good evening to you, sir. I don't know what part of the world, or madam. I don't know what part of the world you are. Whenever I see the word Polymorph, I don't know why she chose the name. I think of Red Dwarf. That's that scene where David Lister gets turned into a miniature RoboCop. No, that was when he was fighting the Madras Beast. I'm getting them all mixed up now. The Polymorph, that's when they sucked out the emotions of various characters, wasn't it? Right, give Keith a chance. Yes, hello Polymorph. Good evening to you. Is there a stinker stream for the Spectrums planned? I've got, Tom, that's a very good question. I do want to do a stinker stream. I've written down a number of games for the stinker stream. It's not scheduled or planned at the moment, but I do want to do it. So watch this space. I do want to do a stinker stream. Next week probably a normal stream. Hopefully there'll be an additional stream, depending on how the time. Because next week they're so short and staffed. Next week it could be I don't want to schedule in a stream and then I'm called into work straight away. So if there is a second stream or even a third stream next week, it might be last minute stuff, a bit like this. But a lot of you have found it last minute. So thank you. Maybe that would work. He keeps going to end the stream, this Nicky, but then another question just comes in. So yeah, hopefully soon, Tom. Hopefully soon. And Ninja Hamster will probably be in there. Street Acid will probably be in there, and a load of other stuff. Probably Jack and the Beanstalk just for fun, because that's my nightmare game ever. Right. Well done, Polymorph. That's where you got it. I thought so. On a river, give Keith a chance, and the cat lost all his cool, didn't he? The cat lost all his cool. Yeah. Leaflet campaign, yeah. I've got to watch those Red Dwarfs again. I've got them all on DVD, but I think they're online as well. I love Red Dwarf. I need to do a video about Red Dwarf. There's no games covered on there. I did toy once with doing because I know how to do them now. It would be like stills rather than watching the videos, going over favourite episodes. I did toy with the idea once of Star Trek Next Generation. This is years ago, of just talking through it, but I don't think many people would be interested in those. It's quite old hat, but I think Red Dwarf would be quite good. Right, what else? Let's nut 'em. What was that thing that Lister said? He had the baseball bat. What I say is nut them to oblivion or something like that. Tom, I think the Magic Roundabout would definitely be in it, Tom, there. Right. Joachim's got a Game Boy Advance. I really, really love that. I've got quite a few games for that, but my favourite one is Mario Super Circuit. That's the game I played the most. It was pretty good. On the PS Vita, I didn't have too many games of that at all. I had a few Need for Speeds, and Most Wanted was the one I played the most. And for some reason, Andy Murray's World Championship Tennis, I think it was called. I probably can pick up those a bit cheaper, but PS Vita deserved to do a lot better, to be honest with you. But it never really took off. I think it's probably because mobile phones were getting big then, and people were doing like apps for I don't know, free or about £1, and the Vita games were a bit more expensive. But do you own a PS Vita? I've got one somewhere, but it needs to be powered up. I haven't played it for quite some time. Right, okay, Joachim, time to go. Stay well. Yeah, thank you, Joachim. I'd probably be going soon myself as well as we get into Saturday. There. Okay, Polymorph. I think Dwayne Dibley come from the second Polymorph. Oh, did he? Was he the second Polymorph? Dwayne Dibley, I think he did come from the second Polymorph, but he'd come first from another one called... What did he call? It was where... Oh, dear, I've forgotten the episode now. Dwayne Dibley was the real life persona of the cat, because they'd all been in a video game. They're 2% of the game. Rimmer was like William Doyle or something like that. Lister was Rich, and Crichton was Jake Bullitt, some cyborg super cop. I think that's where Dwayne Dibley originally come from. And then Dwayne Dibley turned up again in an episode maybe called Emo Hawk, which was or Rimmerworld, Emo Hawk or Rimmerworld, one of the two. And he come back there for a second there. Back to Reality, that was it. The Supreme Gentleman, well done, Supreme Gentleman. I knew you'd know. Back to Reality, there we go, you got it. Back to Reality, a song by Soul to Soul as well. There, Back to Reality. Ian knows it as well, right? Okay, well done, you folks. You know your Red Dwarf. Smoke me a kipper. I'll be back for breakfast. Ace Rimmer, what a guy. Supreme Gentleman just bought them on. Yeah, great. I own them on DVD. Is it worth? I need your advice now, Supreme Gentleman. Is it worth upgrading my DVDs? I think I've got the latest series on Blu-ray. Well, not the latest one, the one before that. Is it worth upgrading my DVDs to Blu-ray? Is it worth the upgrade? What extra stuff are you getting? There's quite a few extras on that. And what I really, when I'm down, what I really love, yeah, I do get down. What I really love, as well as talking to you guys, is listening to the commentary on, especially series 1, 2 and 3. I like the commentary from the cast on there, and that's sort of like join in really. That's quite good. Quite old now, but I do like that. Everyone knows Batchat. Everyone's clicking in with Back to Reality. The Despair Squid. Well, we don't want the Despair Squid coming. Yeah, I need to do my favourite episodes there. Legion is another favourite one of mine. Legion, which is made up of all the emotions of the four characters there. Yeah, good. I'm trying to think of other Red Dwarfs. What was that one with Johnny Vegas in? That was a fairly recent one. He's dressed up as a pink policeman. Someone is going to immediately know. I like that one there. Right. I don't know. I have just opened them, mate. We'll get back to you, says the Supreme Gentleman. Well, there's a pod here which I need to defrost. It contains Barbara Bellini. It's either a date or a simulant that can make balloon animals out of my lower intestines. See, I'm paraphrasing, but I remember stuff. The two Hollies were both great in Red Dwarf. I prefer Norman Lovett, the first one. Who's the second one? Oh God, Hattie Hayridge. Well done, me. Well done. I don't think Hattie Hayridge is in the comment section. I don't think Jerry Hall's in the comment section, or Jerry Lee Lewis. But you lot are in there, and that is good enough. Right, buy the Blu-rays, but keep the DVDs. Thank Polymorph. Oh, okay, fair enough. I think I've got the shelf space. Actually, the DVDs will be good if I need to do any screenshots, won't they? Really? No, I think they will be. Who's going at the bar? I've almost finished my drink, and that never happens in a live stream, does it? Queeg. Queeg. This is Jake with the Decade. Queeg's got one of my favourite songs in it. What is it? Where Norman Lovett as Holly is coming down the corridor on a computer screen on wheels, a TV screen on wheels. Yeah, do, oh forsake me, darling. I know I must be brave, although I face a man who hates me, or forever cower in my grave. Great. I got to watch. You've got me there. I need to watch them again. It's been a while since I've watched them. I need to see them again. Absolutely. Good old Red Dwarf. That's what you want. It's cold outside. There's no tight atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Fun in the sun. If you don't know Red Dwarf, I think you should really look it up. It's more of a UK comedy. They tried to bring it out in America with a new cast. Robert Llewellyn as Chryson went over to do it, but it was a bit of a flop, really. The error they made is they recast Lister. Lister's supposed to be the last human being alive on ever, and he was supposed to be a bit of a slob. They recast some Hulk bodybuilder type fellow, and it wasn't viable. The girls didn't fancy. It wasn't viable as a real David Lister, a slob that had stains on his clothes, that was obsessed with Vindaloo curry. It didn't work that way. Queeg was an awesome episode. We're talking Jape of the Decade. Wheeze of the Week, mate. Mark Palmer, thanks, Mark. Wheeze of the Week, mate. That was a great line. Well cashed in, Mark. That's good. Tongue Tied. See, I own Tongue Tied was a song by Danny John Jules, who played the cat. I actually own that. I think I might have got it on my in my loft somewhere. But did it? When I saw you for the first time, my knees began to quiver. Then I got a funny feeling in my kidneys and my liver. Great. I don't write and write. I think I do own the 12-inch of that. I'm gonna have to go and find it. I haven't got a record player anymore. I'm sure it's on YouTube as well, so I need to find that. Angels and Demons was a good episode, says the Supreme Gentleman. That's good. They saw the higher and lower cells. Yeah, and then I'm going to. That was scary. That Angels and Demons, the demon version of Arnold River, was pretty scary, wasn't it? Supreme Gentleman, that was good. Thanks, Elf. But I never expect those on these streams because we're just talking rubbish. But cheers, Elf boy. Thanks. Look how low I am on this. Thanks, old boy. Do I need to get another drink in, or should we go to somewhere else? Thanks, mate. It's beeped already up there. Because I'm not wearing headphones, I can't see if it's beeped. But your name is in the corner. Oh no, not that corner. That corner. I need up that corner. Oh God, position yourself. There we go. There. So it's all about coordination, isn't it? Really. There we go. I wasn't so good. Yeah, it's something lost. It went a bit downhill, didn't it? Season 6, season 7. Then it disappeared, and then on the reboot when it went to Dave, it suddenly picked up again. It was quite a good show, wasn't it? Red Dwarf there. I prefer the normal series to the actual movies, but the last one they brought out, I suppose it's tricky getting the cast now. They did it as a two-parter, didn't they? I forget what it was called. I don't own that on Blu-ray, but it was quite good. I think it's available on it's on UK TV. I think you just need to set up a password. It don't cost you anything, so you need to do that. I think my password, I've forgotten it, or it's elapsed or something, or I haven't got the app, so I need to really look at that. But there's a lot of good stuff there. I presume there's a Red Dwarf site that has the latest news, but I presume they're going to make another series. But yeah, the BBC back in the day, the BBC ditched it in place of another sci-fi sitcom because they didn't think there's room for two sci-fi sitcoms. They wanted something new. They went for something called, I think it's called Hyperspace, written by I think it was written by Nick Frost. Was it written by Nick Frost? Hyperspace on Nick Frost. It was pretty good. It weren't Red Dwarf. It was written by Nick Frost, who was with Simon Pegg in Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and The World's End. It was funny. It had that Miranda in it as well from the show Miranda. It was interesting. There's a few characters you might recognise, but it wasn't Red Dwarf. And I think it lasted maybe one series or two series, and then it was gone again, and that was it. The BBC ditched it, Red Dwarf, for something a bit new. Hyperspace. I think it's called Hyperspace. If you've watched Hyperspace, let me know. I love Nick Frost and everything he does, but yeah, it was good, but it wasn't Red Dwarf, to be honest with you. And then Dave picked it up. Well done them, and it was a good choice to do so. Was it Doug Taylor that wrote the recent episodes? I think so. White Hole with a Talking Lobster. Oh yeah, the Blade Runner type story, Ian. Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? Really, that was too much. Blade Runner with the cat doing the paper shapes. It was too Blade Runner, really. Back to Earth. Yeah, Back to Earth was terrible. Was Back to Earth? Was that the one, Supreme Gentleman? We've all gone. Probably people don't know Red Dwarf. We've all gone rather Red Dwarf. Was it Back to Earth? Was that the one where they because Craig Charles, who played Dave Lister, was in Coronation Street, then a soap set in Manchester in the UK. The Starbug on wheels went to Coronation Street, and I thought, oh, this is just this has gone too far wrong the other way, hasn't it? Really, yeah. See, Hyperspace was good. I would like to see Hyperspace come back, but I don't think that was a bit like Bob Mortimer and Vic Reeves in their House of Fools. It was one of those ones that had a cult viewing but didn't get enough viewing, and then they canned it. Hyperspace got canned after, was it 2 seasons or 3 seasons? But I don't know if that's available to buy, but it's the sort of thing I'd like to buy there. What was it? Starship? Was it called the Starship Camden Lock? Was that what it was? Someone would be able to correct me. The Starship Camden Lock. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, Supreme Gentleman. That weren't overly good there. But I finished my drink. I had a pint and I finished my drink, and it's the longest nonsense live stream. 2 hours. How is that possible? It's the longest nonsense live stream we've ever sort of like done, and it's 11, folks. But anyway, okay, so. We will end it there. So thank you for joining me for this sort of like pub talk. I think you're all sort of like brilliant. We talked about a lot of stuff, haven't we, really? As I say, cut the Spectrum videos. Sorry there's been no gaming live stream this week, but hopefully we catch it up next week. I better go to bed. I'm getting up tomorrow for sort of like stuff. So yeah, thank you for joining me. You might have watched a bit of it, might have watched all of it. Surprised if you watched all of it. This guy, you're just sitting opposite some guy in a red hat gabbling about nothing much, to be honest with you. But anyway, thank you everyone there. So you're welcome, Steve. Thank you there. So good night to everyone. Thanks for your company. I do value it. Hopefully I'm keeping this fun for you. And those people out there, I know me included, that suffer a little bit from stress from time to time. Hopefully it's taking you out of that, reality, trying to get you a bit of perspective and bringing you all together. So hooray for us, we are the greatest. Until next time, take great care of yourself. Don't sue Haas if you're a Russian Formula 1 driver. And Khan, I'm just going to say it one more time. Pigs in space. You can say it as well if you want. 1, 2, 3. Pigs in space. Right, people are trying to sleep now. I can't keep shouting that. So till next time, take great care of yourself. Have a great weekend. Nice seeing you again. I finished my pint, which is the first. Maybe I need 2 next time. Till next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye. Bye everyone. Love you. You're really cool people. Thank you very much.